Hello to all. I am Dr. Suranjan Sarkar, Assistant Professor of Rammohan College, Kolkata 9. Today I am going to deliver a seminar presentation on role of teacher in a multicultural and multi-ethnic society. Introduction. The relationship between culture and education has been an undeniable one since the culture of teachers and students affect education process in our society. Culture includes everything that make one group or community within a society distinctive from another: language, value, literature, worldview, food, religion, clothing, holidays, beliefs, and behavior that construct a specific group's lifestyle. Author Louis Denim defines culture as the learned and shared human patterns of models for living, day-to-day living patterns that pervades all aspects of human social interaction. Culture is mankind's primary adaptive mechanism, and education encompasses practice and theories that support equitable opportunities and academic achievement for all students. To provide equitable opportunities of achievement to all the students, we are in need to consider about the multicultural aspect of the students in a classroom. Multicultural can be understood in many perspectives. The Oxford Dictionary defines it as relating to or containing several cultural or ethnic groups within a society. The multicultural education aims at approaching education with the awareness inclusive of the cultural aspect of the learners. It is the present and future of education, according to Shilpa Bhauraskar, who offers online courses to students worldwide rather than a passive on-way follow of learning from teacher to student. There is a brainstorming of ideas, stories, and experience that enrich the educational experience in ways that are impossible in monoculture classes. In the contemporary context, many classrooms in our society are a heterogeneous one which encompasses the individual from varied races, ethnicities, and nationalities who present forth the cultural tradition to their interaction, and it's up to teachers recognize, celebrate, and share this different perspective. Traditionally, students attending multicultural classrooms are at shortfall as they are in a task to learn about coping and maneuvering unfamiliar people, their culture and language. Eventually, the teachers who teach them have the added responsibilities of leading students through the unfamiliar territory towards accomplishment. The demands specialized learning, technique, practice, and education to effectively accomplish the role of the teacher. Teachers who unite classrooms with activities both inside and outside of the classroom stand a better chance at boosting student achievement and rectifying the negative effects that have been observed in multicultural classrooms in the past. Literary review on the role of teachers. Preparing culturally responsive teachers. The successful progress in the field of the teacher education beyond the poorly considered and superficial treatment of diversity that the currently present teacher educator must build a vision learning and teaching in a multicultural society and use that vision of skillfully guide the mosaic of multicultural issue throughout the pre-service curriculum. In the book A Vision, the offered of culturally responsive teachers that the initiative, the conservation among teacher educators in the process in the vision mentioned in the book of culturally responsive teachers. The teachers are conscious and have aimful views of the student from diverse background. She themselves are responsibilities for the capable of bringing about change to make schools more equitable, understand how learners construct knowledge and are capable of promoting knowledge construction, know about the lives of their students and design instruction that builds on what their students already know while stretching them beyond the familiar. Problems of self as well as the new culture. Trust problems with self as well. The new culture an issue in the multicultural classroom. Another study found that an emotional relationship, especially confidence between teachers and their students in their intercultural classroom, is important in establishment trust between student and their teacher. The study also suggested that the teaching material and approaches of teachers should be modified to recognize the student cultural and to gain student trust. Therefore, student will feel respected and safe with their teachers and classmates. Multicultural education of curriculum. Being sensitive to each student, it is important to deal with each student sensitively as they would find something disturbing their cultural beliefs and aspect. Classrooms with different background, nationalities and faith can lead to great topics and discussion based on tolerance and respect, thus boosting the interest of the learner. Analysis. The principle of education equity is the key focus which spotlight the issue related to multicultural society, and the educational equity has three standards which are access, participation and outcomes. Every teacher in a multicultural and multi-ethnic society to achieve these three standards in order to gain the expected achievement out of the learners. This can be done in two levels, in the classroom and outside the classroom. A teacher affects eternally. He can never tell where his influence stops. A teacher would influence, inspire and affect the lives of the multicultural learners of his or her class. The following are the areas where cultural can be outrightly traced in a learner's life. Inside the classroom, classroom participation. If major language used in the classroom was a foreign language or even a second language to be learner, the learner would not be very comfortable in the classroom participation. Academic accomplishment. If the classroom atmosphere seemed to continuously glorifying another culture or giving least consideration to one's culture, eventually the performance of the learner would precede. Problem solving ability. The culture from which the learner hails would be different types of problem solving skills, imposing only certain type of problem solving skill to this learner would prove detrimental. Student teacher relationship. The student teacher relationship should be acute in the area of international relationship. The teacher should know about the culture and ethnicity to which each of learner in his her class belong to and should be sensitive to their culture, interest and belief. Combating conflict, different culture. Teach to combat with conflict different. Some cultural consider combating conflict as an experience or achievement, where some culture would teach to run away from it. Outside the classroom, language. The language used by the learner should not be belittled, whereas it should be used to learn the common language. Disabilities. In addition to cultural difference, the disabilities of the children, physical, mental, affect the education of the learner Students with family members who have disabilities may have different perspective of education or less assistance with homework. Religion, the faith to which the learner belonging would also have an influence on the needs and interests of the learner. Socio-economic status, the children with various economic background would find it difficult to cope with other in their class. For example, some children may not able to afford proper school supplies, causing them to struggle with homework assignment because they do not have right tools. The food and diet patterns of the learner would also affect the education of the learner at the timing and the diet which they eat to are different. Race or ethnicity, the race and the ethnicity of the learner often became the most conspicuous identity. This can have a positive or negative effect of the learner. Family values and structure, the family structure and the values from the basic concept of faith, morality and self-esteem a learner, and if there are class in the classrooms there would be no route for the learner to hold on. The training to prepare cultural responsive teacher is very important to link the inside and outside activities and aspect of the multicultural concept. The most challenging aspect in multicultural and multi-ethnic society teacher is that they have to their own self-identity of culture to fit into the multicultural classroom which they handle. The teacher should have the knowledge about the various culture and aspect with the unit them. Conclusion: a teacher plays a pivotal role in the performance of each learner in our society, and this responsibility ascend to the peak with the multicultural and multi-ethnic society. A teacher with most empathy, high sensitive towards culture, broad-minded attitude, intense integrity, and living the life of a person whom the learners can consider as a role model. The role of teacher in the multicultural and multi-ethnic society to be a facilitator and a being to connect the culturally diverse people to promote them learning experience through educational equity. Thank you.